died. When I was 13, I had real heat for him.
Oh, I had real hate.
I had real. So you
my
did.
biggest fantasy was my biggest life injustice was my. You know, before you go to bed, you masturbate, you do something to like calm your brain down. And it's self-soothing. You're like, let me go back to this pleasure-seeking missile, dude. Right? And then you relax and pass out.
Great.
Mine was going to my dad's condo and beating him up. And I would imagine the door, dragging his ass into the bathroom.
Yeah, it's like a Penthouse letter where the better the description, the hornier you. He comes back at 18.
Yeah.
Does he come back full into your life? I'm sober, or is he just go
so
like?
when I was 17, I was the youngest, so obviously I'm graduating.
Of how many?
3.
Okay.
So he sobers up.
When you're 17?
17, almost about 18.
When did your parents break up?
When I was 2. So
and then he was gone?
He lived near, but it was like the Terrell Owens thing.
Yeah.
Where it would be like...
Sit-ups in the driveway.
My dad is 3 miles that way.
Yeah.
But never at a game, never at anything, never showed up. Never. He would call, say we were going to go golfing, not come for some reason.
Oh, man, that move.
Like
brother, that's what makes America, is looking at headlights going, here he is.
Yeah,
nope.
But that move, where you'd be like, as a kid, now I'm nearly 50 and it just changes as you get older, but you look back and you go like, weird move, brother. Just don't invite.
Can I tell you why? There was no ability to reach people besides letter or phone, so they knew they weren't on the hook. Because my dad gave a hell of a speech when I was 11 about catching my Pop Warner football game when I was in 7th grade, to the point that I was like, all right, dude, I was like doing more off-season training to be like, I'm not going to be a bum when this guy shows up. I'm going to be good. And then by the end of the season, I was like, I talked to him once or twice, and I go, hey, you coming out? And he goes, oh, the season's ending. And you go, what do you think? It's NFL? You think it's 16 weeks? We're fucking 12. We got 8 games.
You think we're going deep into the playoffs for network money?
Yeah, it's over before November. It's over before November. We're not going to be on Peacock. No one fucking cares. We're at Mission Viejo Park. But he did that thing, and did your dad? So your dad did the same thing.
So my dad would do a thing where it would be the movie Parenthood kind of shows it perfectly with Joaquin Phoenix.
Where Joaquin Phoenix, and that's where Keanu Reeves snaps on the guy.
Yes, and Joaquin Phoenix come home and destroys the dentist thing.
Shout out, dude.
But that movie,
I forgot about that part.
I know. So that scene for me when I watched it, I was like, that movie's cool.
Yeah.
I was like, because that is what it feels. You go like, because you have to play to your mom and to other women.
Yeah.
I don't care. And you don't even know why, because they're being sweet to you.
Yeah.
So like my mom was my sister had surgeries growing up. So my mom and my sister were gone and my aunt was staying with us. And it was me and my brother, and my dad said he was going to pick us up or something. I don't even remember what the context was, but my aunt told my mom, and my mom was like, he's not coming.
Damn.
And then my aunt said, Jake, just let me help. It was like let me help you. We'll do it. And I was like, my dad's coming.
Oh,
and I was sitting outside, and I remember the sadness of her.
Oh,
but I wasn't sad because I was like, you're overreacting, Goofy. He's coming. Yeah. And then with each 15 minutes, I had to do at a certain point, be like, you know what? I think I'm going to bail on this and head back upstairs. Your read was incorrect.
There is something to be said about when you're a teenager or young in your teens and you see an adult be sad.
It's the worst. I'll tell you what I hated even more. And this took me a lot of years to get over the resentment. When you see another family's mom be extra nice to you because she's sad about something that's happening in your house.
Dude, you are preaching to the choir.
Well, you could always call me, and they go like this. Also, you could also bring this to school, and you're going like this.
Can I tell you, and this is something that I think very rare anyone who would identify with this. When you have to keep the other adult being nice from your mom, because you don't want your mom to know.
I even say that now, my mom would kill it. So there was a moment, and we've been.
Trish, I know you're watching, but it's true.
People would be so nice.
Fucking be cool, be cool.
Thank you for raising me.
I love you. You give me such a great life. Thank you so much. But it was fucking crazy.
The only reason I'm in a happy relationship is because of you, please.
You're the reason I'm a decent human being. But it is when someone was sad for you about something your shitty parent did, you tried to keep the good parent. Because I'm not going to lie, my dad died when I was 14. And
he died at 14?
Yeah, when I was 14, he died. When I was 13, I had real heat for him.
Oh, I had real heat.
I had real. So you
my
did.
biggest fantasy was, my biggest life injustice was before you go to bed, you masturbate or you do something to
Sure.
like calm your brain down and it's
Yeah.
self-soothing. You're like, let me go back to this pleasure-seeking
Yeah,
missile,
dude.
right? And then you relax and pass out.
Great.
Mine was going to my dad's condo and beating him up, and I would imagine the door dragging his ass into the bathroom.
Yeah, it's like a Penthouse letter where the better the
Yes.
description, the hornier you
Yeah,
get.
but
where you
it was
ooh, as I kicked open the single lock.
But it
And
was
you go,
soothing.
Yeah.
And it was
so
your
you really wanted to fuck him up.
So what happened was we would have times when my mom would get too much and she would, say, I can't keep doing this.
Sure.
And it's time to go to your dad's. And we would drive to his house. We'd be begging her no. We'd get to his house. He would come out in his boxers and say no.
No way.
Yes.
He would deny
He
the
would say
hang.
no. So
You
then,
gotta get him the fuck out
no,
of here.
it'd be more like Eve would no. This, and he wasn't sober. So then we'd have to get back in the car. And my mom would have to do the. I say we're gonna just make this work with us, and we gotta start doing some chores. And I'm like, did you say something I love, and that's a schedule? Because if it's about dishes,
Ooh.
these hands are made for cleaning.
Ooh,
Cleaning is what they'll do.
responsibilities, please.
Actually, everything you're saying that you like in a day is what I like in a day.
Yeah, that watching them go like, fuck it, we'll do it is
You're
like
like,
that's a very specific experience to have with a single mom.
Yes.
Where they go like,
But you also
all right, we'll do it. And then you go like,
That
you're
sucks.
either on board, which
Right.
I was on board.
Yeah.
Whenever
I was
some
on board,
terrible
too.
shit would happen to us, my mom would always go, we'll get through this.
always.
And you're like, hell yeah. All
My,
right,
my
cool.
mom has always been my rock.
Yeah.
My mom has.
Same.
I jokingly tease her the most now. I'm now like using her voice notes on appearances on talk shows. My mom is a character. I love her. If my mom didn't raise me, there could have been a really bad ending.
That's-
When I see like a wild person under a bridge, I don't go, that alien is other than me.
Yeah.
I go, thank you, Eve J.
Yeah, dude, for real. I don't think that gets enough credit.
Yeah.
And having kids, is there any resentment towards like what's the relationship of your dad with your kids?
Well, he's dead now.
Okay, when did was he alive when they were alive?
Yeah, but he was not involved.
Okay.
Not in a dramatic way.
Okay.
So I saw this great Instagram clip that like broke me down.
Sure.
And it was an old man clowning around for his grandkids and then jumped in a pool.
Yeah.
And it said, when grandparents love being a grandparent, it means they miss being a parent.
Sure.
And when they don't, it means they never really were meant to be a parent. And
Completely
I'm like,
agree.
That's interesting.
I completely agree, and that's like the old saying of like if you don't raise your kids, your parents have to raise your kids.
Yes.
And if you do raise your kids, your parents get to spoil your kids.
That's exactly right.
And that's what it is. It's like if you don't raise I'm saying this wrong. They say if you don't raise your kids, you're going to end up raising your grandkids.
Oh, that's
and if you
interesting.
raise your kids, you're going to be able to spoil your
Right.
grandkids.
But it's the same because it makes sense because you go,
Yeah.
yes, it's just putting the emphasis on the parents.
Exactly.
But you're like,
And
I think that's totally right. So
I also-
my dad wasn't a bad guy. He just
shouldn't probably have
wasn't. But here's what he
probably
was.
didn't want to be a
That's the addiction. I would be at home, and the vibe would start getting tense.
Sure.
And if it gets tense, things could go sideways.
which is
And I like the situation right now with this woman, my siblings here.
Sure.
So what if I tried to take the tone that is clearly going sideways?
Yeah.
And if I could find, not in my sense of humor,
Mm-hmm.
but in the rhythm of right now with this dialogue, how do I get that woman to think this is funny?
Yeah.
And when you find that, and my brother and I, that's when we became real comedy partners.
Yeah.
He would always, because he was always smarter than me.
Sure.
So we would start, and we talked about it as we were older, we would start making eye contact and communicating.
Yeah.
And what he would do is he would start basically setting up premises.
great.
So my mom would be like, and the fucking mess, and I'm doing it on my own. And he'd be like, and I agree. And she'd be like, you're saying that good. And he'd go like, and he'd be like, and what we got to do is we have to come up with a schedule. And look at me. And I'd be like, oh, schedule. And no one would laugh. And I'd be like, and she'd be like, it's not a fucking time. And he'd be like, that was a miss. I went absurd, and it wasn't. And you keep going. But when you land it, she laughs. And then when the dust settles, either me or my brother would go, I think you're right. It is messy. If you give us a couple days, knowing if you get past this 20 minutes,
Yeah.
then we're going to go back to fucking off.
Yeah.
But we just got to get past this 20 minutes.
That's what it is. You have turbulence. Get through the turbulence.
Once we're into turbulence, we both know we're taking our belts off and having another drink. And I've told this before, but we've never talked about it. But the way I actually got close with my dad was because he partied so hard for so long.
Sure.
It pickles your brain.
Yeah.
And anybody who claims it doesn't, like,
It's CTE of partying.
it really, and there's a moment where you're still there. And look, I loved him by the end. He was in my top 5 of best friends, not as a bit.
Sure.
But we could do a game that we used to do, and that is The three of us would be sitting in a room, and my brother and I could text each other words. And the goal was, my dad's nickname was Croco, as in crock of shit.
Yeah.
And he's the only impression I do, but my impression of him is good. I was obsessed with him. So it's the only reason that people go, you doing Columbo? It's actually my dad.
That's fantastic.
And
He was sing-songy, and it was a dance.
Yeah,
And it was this, and let me tell you, the broad shake.
And so what we would do, we'd be sitting there, and my brother would text me, pink monkeys.
Yeah.
And I would text back like, too hard. And he'd be like, you can. And I would go, hey, Croc. I'd be watching a Cubs game. He'd go, yeah. And I go, you take a bunch of red and a bunch of white, you mush it together. What do you get? He'll go, a mess. We'd all be like, no. And he'd go, no, the colors, you put them together. He'll go,
A slap jab.
he'd be like, he's trying to be funny. But I go, no, Dad, what the color? And he goes, oh, that color makes pink. And you go, yeah. And then you go, let's play a fucking crazy ass game. You go, what do we?
Everything you do is crazy.
And I go, what animal makes this sound? Ooh, ah. You go, a fucking monkey. My brother's dying laughing.
That's
My
fun.
dad thinks,
He's laughing because he did the.
I'm doing the fucking monkey. I'm doing the fucking pink.
and he's getting that jumpy energy. I go,
Yeah.
put the fucking words together. He go,